All right. Bye.
All right, welcome for Prerona Television Canada. Actually, this is uh, a collaboration partnership with GARA, and this program actually is about GARA. The GARA means Global Academics Research Academy, and today we are very happy that GARA actually presents a topic, the role of research during pandemic. So we are very glad that through our channel that we are sharing what Gara is doing globally. So today, before we introduce the topic, I would like to introduce the guest, and I would like to ask Professor Dr. Asif Mahabub Karim. He is the chief patron of Gara Global. So I would like to ask him to introduce Gara Global and also all the dignitary, as I don't know everyone. So I would like you to take over and then introduce Gara Global and different chapters of Gara around the world and what is Gara all about. And then when you start, then we might have some questions. We can have some interactions in between. So now I ask Professor Dr. Asif Mahbub Karim to take over and then continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edward from Canada. And indeed, thank you very much to Prerona TV for hosting this program today. Actually, GARA is, as you mentioned, it is a global academics research academy. So it was a part of, it's a research cell actually of World. There's another organization, the parent organization. World is actually a wisdom organization for research and leadership development. So the research wing of World is GARA. The motive that what we started the GARA was to enable the global researcher to come forward in a global networking platform and to assist one another in order to make the research a good culture among the academics, among the youth researcher. That is GARA's main target, to develop the young researchers right from the school level to the college level to the university level. And just to embed the culture of research within the organization. So that's what the main purpose of GARA actually was initially when we started the journey. And actually, GARA was mainly inspired by the SDG number 4, which talks about the quality education. That's the inspiration from where GARA actually started its role, started its activities. So on that note, when I say that GARA started its activities, and mainly we focus on few things to develop the researcher. We, as in GARA, we organize international conferences. We organize international conferences. We did one quite successfully when we did one very successfully. That was in August this year. And that was on the impact of COVID-19 on global business sustainability, which also was attended by uh, 47 papers that we received from around the globe with around 17 keynote speakers. So in that particular issue, we found that GARA really assisted on the web technology platform and on a different time zone. I mean, when we say about the global pattern, starting from Central Asia to Africa to Northern America to Asian subcontinent to the Middle East, then to the Far East. So it was really a good mixture of researchers carnival, I would say, in that matter. So in that particular issue, it gave us a success. And then we are organizing next month, December 12th and 13th, our second international conference that we are organizing, and we are the host. It is on the e-learning management in the new norm. As we know that globally, we are all onto the e-learning platform at the moment. We are using it on our different pattern, different ways. So how actually it is helping us, or how actually we are doing that e-learning management. And of course, among the e-learning management, one important issue is going to come up, and that would be the e-assessment as well. So that's the next month conference that GARA is doing. Apart from these two international conferences, next year also we have our conference schedules, which are already in our website. It's www.garaglobal.org. Another one is in June 2021 and in December 2021 as well. Beside that, in January, GARA is also hosting a dialogue policy on 10th of January. So there's a one particular session we are doing called 2021 is Time for Africa. So where the leaders from the African nation would join in an open discussion forum with GARA. And again, on 7th of February, we are again doing another program called 2021 is Time for Asia. So there's another program that GARA is coming up with. Apart from our own conferences, GARA is also becoming the partner for research and conference for its other platinum members around the globe. Like we have successfully had on October 30 and 31st, we have already done one international conference for DIRI, and that was on Sufism. So GARA was the concept and the research partner in together with the e-platform partner for them. And also we are organizing for another of our platinum member in Bangladesh in January 23rd and 24th for a university called CCN University of Science and Technology, where GARA is the concept, research, and the conference partner. So that's one of the part that GARA is really assisting at this pandemic time in the web technology platform to bring in researchers from around the globe and to come up with their paper presentation. And then comes with that is the publication. GARA have already signed MOAs with different reputed journals, like some of them are Scopus indexed, some of them are ERA indexed, some of them are ABDC indexed or APC from USA. So that's how we are giving the platform for our youth researcher to get publications as well. So we assist them in a fast track publication. That's another part that GARA really is doing. And of course, GARA is also working on our journal, our own journal in Malaysia. And most probably the GARA Malaysian chapter president is here today, Prof. Dr. Oyu Hawk, because I saw him a bit earlier. So together we are coming up with our GARA's, own publication in Malaysia. And another thing that GARA is doing globally is what we say is SRU. It is a strategic research unit for different universities or colleges or schools, so that GARA becomes a platform for their researcher to practice their research and a vehicle by which they can do their publications and research activities globally in a global networking. That's what SRU, the Strategic Research Unit, mean. So currently we are working in tandem with a few universities in Africa. We are working with few universities in Bangladesh and in Uzbekistan. So that's how we really are doing that part. And as I mentioned, that there is an option to become a platinum member for GARA for the institutions. So through that, what happens, the faculty members, they get trained up through our international experts on research methodology. So that's a project in GARA. We have termed it as a friend project. So it's actually faculty research improvement, enrichment, nurturing, development. So you say it's a friend project of GARA. So currently we are carrying on with a few institutions around the globe. And that's how during the pandemic time, we are assisting. Another thing that we have seen, which is very much currently on demand that GARA is also offering, is nano certification. So we have 2 months programs. We have 4 months program, nano certification, which are leading to the micro credential programs on research methodology. We have on cyber security. We have got on forensic accounting. And lately we are working with programs like Islamic banking and finance, investment banking and finance, Islamic law and Sharia. Those are the other things we are looking into specifically in few of our market. And these certifications are, to be carried out with a joint certification logo That's also in our mind with some universities around the globe. So, I mean, that's in a nutshell that we are doing at GARA. And currently, as you know, in the Southeast Asia, GARA presence is there in Bangladesh, in India, in Sri Lanka, and Pakistan and Maldives. And very soon we are speaking to start our chapter in Nepal as well. Then coming up, we have our chapter in China, in Uzbekistan, Malaysia, of course, and in Brunei, in this part of the globe, in the ASEAN place. Then in the Middle East, we have our activities in the Sultanate of Oman. We have our activities in the UAE, just started. And we have quite a strong presence in the Africa at the moment in Kenya, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. And very soon we are hoping to start our chapter in Tanzania and Republic of Benin and Nigeria as well. So that's under our discussion. And of course, uh, the host for today's program is the GARA Canada chapter. Mr. Edward is here. So GARA Canada chapter is being really very, I mean, I would say taking a very strong lead in Canada and Northern America and other parts. So, and in the Europe, we have started just a small chapter in Hungary. So currently with these 18 global chapters and around 5 more on the pipeline to come up, that's how GARA is, I mean, marching slowly, but surely for the development of youth researchers globally. Over to you, Mr. Edward. Cannot hear you, Mr. Edward. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, can.
All right.
Thank you.
So I'd like to actually now ask you to introduce the rest of the participants, those who are here with us today. Uh, some of them are representing some countries. So I
Yeah.
would like you to introduce, or maybe you can self-introduce yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Here is Dr. Mui Wakian is here, who is a very seasoned professor in Malaysia. So he has currently joined in. So Dr. Mui, and he's a very active member in GARA Malaysia chapter. And lately also in our last program of the conference, he had his paper presentations. He was a keynote speaker, and he published quite a good number of articles in the peer-reviewed journals. And Prof. Dr. Wu also is here. So Prof. Dr. Wu is, as I mentioned, is the Malaysian chapter president, and he's also a very, very seasoned professor and researcher with over 5 decades of his experiences in this platform. So currently, 2 of the professors are with me from Malaysia. So, I mean, so that's how I introduce them. But they're actively cooperating and working in the development of the global, the academic fraternities. So that's how it has been happening. And we have been working very closely to find out the niche, what people need. And also, Gara, that we have been working also with one of the very specialist on childhood education specialist who is working with the Ministry of Education in Dubai. So we are working very closely, and hopefully we are trying to bring up some good programs for the school teachers. So, I mean, for school teachers in India, school teachers in Bangladesh, school teachers in Sri Lanka. So yesterday also we had a very long session with the Sri Lankan chapters. So these are the certain things that, as I mentioned, that the culture of the research should start from the very early stage, and the school is the right platform to start with. So that's how we are working on that project as well, so that we ensure that the research is embedded in almost all sphere of the learning faculties. Because a school teacher, if we see, they are the starting point. Someone who becomes a school teacher, for example, may not be always remain as a school teacher, or can remain as a school teacher. So what happens is, if that culture is embedded among the school teachers as well, so they benefit, the institute benefits through their publication, and on a result, the student, they benefit through a much learned, research oriented faculty. So that's another program that we have undertaken, and we are carrying it on. And of course, for the school principals, that's another program that we are working on the leadership role of the school principals. So that's another program that we are doing. As you know, on the 7th of November, we had another program where Gara was the organizer as well. This was in India, that is called the International Conference on Education in Emergency. So, it was also co-organized by Microsoft and the Ministry of Small Medium Enterprise in India, together with CED Education, the Global Talk Education, and Aman of Indonesia. So we were the partners together in that particular program. So that was on the education in emergency. So where among the other speakers, there was the State Minister of Education on Maldives, yeah, and also the ex-Minister of Education of Malaysia. So they were also among the keynotes. Other from different part of the globe, they were here. So that's how Gara is making sure that even though slowly, steadily, but to make the research fraternity feel that there is a helping hand, there is a platform, there are global experts. If they require, we are always there to assist them. Yes.
All right. I have offered one question to you, and then if you can address that kindly, is
Yes.
what are the challenges during the pandemic? As you are talking or dealing with a lot of institutions, and you might have that exposure or interactions with those institutions. So, what do you think from your experience? Can you share with us what are the challenges of this research during this pandemic?
Thank you. One of the main challenge that what we see among the researchers globally. So since Gara has the opportunity to work globally, so we see that one of the main challenge is at the moment is the infrastructure facilities to be on the online web technology, because many of the researchers were very used to with the conventional way of research. We're very much used to with the traditional conventional conferences. So that was a big challenge, and that's how Gara role came into mentoring them on the e-conferences platform. Some of the institutes that we have worked lately, they were really not believing that on such a platform, a 2 days marathon paper presentation is possible without getting it monotonous. So that's how Gara have played their role to make them understand and feel, and they were all well appreciated around the globe who were into their programs. That no matter there are challenges, but there are opportunities in these challenges as well. Another challenge that I've seen for the researchers, it is that their data collections, if they want to do during the pandemic, but they have the web-based technology which has really overcome them. But if I say from the institution point of view, like people are doing classes, they're having online classes, we're all managing with Google Meet or the Team or the Zoom or Skype, but it's all fine as far as the delivery is concerned. One challenge is when you want to really assess them. So how do you assess them online? So final examination, midterm examination, the conventional way of doing the examination. So those are a big challenge I've seen in many, many part of the countries. So what they are requesting us to come up with. And that's why in Sri Lanka also yesterday we were discussing to come up with a conference next month end on the online assessment criteria. Actually, how honestly will a student do in online? It's not always that you keep on having short questions, you keep on having Google form tick answers, some of the oral questions. We have to come back to the normal way of writing. So how that normal way of writing of examination can be assessed through an online platform, yes, that's a big challenge, because we are talking about SDG 4, the quality of the education is to be mentioned over there.
All right. Thank you. So I would like to ask maybe to engage the other participants, especially Dr. Wee, right? If I
Uh, I think Dr. Mui is
Dr.
here
Mui.
currently.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dr. Mui
Uh,
is here. Okay.
Yes,
yes, Prof. How are
yes.
you?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes, fine, fine. Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Gara actually is a good platform. It's a very good platform, especially for the researchers. Okay, to share their knowledge. Okay, to share the knowledge to the world. And at the moment, we managed to produce many articles, and some of the articles are already published in a well-known journals. So Gala is a very good articles platform for the actually for the students, okay, for PhD students, okay, for debate students. That's why we do encourage, like I do encourage many of my students to join Gala because this is a good platform and they learn a lot. Okay, they appreciate what happened Gara did to them. So it's a good platform. Other than that, they're very hard to join other platforms that have this sort of international standard. Okay, so Gara provide them an international standard, which are not easy to get and join this sort of platform. Okay, that is my comment about Gara. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Thank you very
What
much.
Prof
Go
what
ahead.
Prof said is very much in align. That yeah, there are a lot of platforms. So the trustworthy, the reliability, and the commitment of the global academics in the platform that I have been receiving from my pool and partners globally, I would say that is really very much appreciable, and that's what the researchers have seen in over last 1 year and plus. That it is a continuous support and it's a continuous networking for them, which they were perhaps not able to get from other platform that they were engaged in previously. Because Gara is not only, I mean, talker. I mean, we are rather a doer. So we like to do what we say, and we like to keep our commitments to what we have given to the youth researchers, that this is the platform. Because I have seen a lot of young researchers who are really very much having a phobia to present. So they are having that, even at the school level. I had a few researchers presenting in my last conference. So they were saying that we are at the school level, but can we present in a pool which is participated by a lot of seasoned researcher? So I said that all the seasoned researcher had his own first day in some point of time. So that's how the encouragement, the mentoring through Gara they get. And this school teachers that who presented in August were so happy to present, and their institutions highly appreciated their conference participation. And later on, they got the publication done, so which was also on the newspapers of those countries and was very much circulated from them to encourage the school fraternities. And they are happily participating again in the December conference that is coming up of Gara. So that shows the faith. Maybe from one school, I had two teachers. Now from that school, in seeing that as a motivation, the third and the fourth teacher have already come up and given their paper. So that's the motivation, and Gara is so happy to see. Actually, that's what was purpose of the Gara, and that's how it is going on. Over to you, Mr. Edward.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing that. And yes, so we, if I understand correctly, or if I hear you correctly, we have, yeah, Gara has a lot of programs, but basically it's very encouraging that we started with the school, right? With the
Yeah.
school teachers, with the principals, and that's very encouraging. And with the countries that we are dealing with, I guess those who are having, those who are actually working towards building their infrastructure too, as there are a lot of challenges, and Gara is playing an important role there. And also, I was wondering, and also you also talked about that young researcher, and by attending these conferences, as Gara has a very well, or there was a conference in August, and then there is upcoming conference in December. And so these continuous programs actually encouraging the young researcher to participate and build their communication skill, the presentation skill, and then also developing their research skill too. So this is encouraging for the young researcher, and for even for the academics. those who are working with the partnership with other academics, other researcher in different countries. So Gara has opened up that opportunity, as you have already mentioned, a couple of countries in are associated with that, as Malaysia, Brunei, like just name a couple of countries. And then it is very encouraging that Gara is working towards it. And I hope that, I guess there is a repetitions, I think I can hear. Sorry, I don't know why, from where it's coming. Okay, so thank you very much for that initiative. And from Gara Canada chapter, because we are actually wants to at least share what Gara Canada is doing and what we like to do. And as you know, the Gara Canada is actually a new chapter. So we are
Yes.
learning. We are actually in the um, uh, process of learning how we can work together. And especially in North America, in Canada, we like to work here with this young researcher, with uh, with with the academics, and also with the rest of the stakeholders. So I guess what we have already mentioned, Professor Karim, that Gara um, is working to working globally to at least develop this skill among everyone. Like so, Gara Canada, especially right now, as we are a new chapter, new placing, we are actually looking forward to at least get all these young researcher and also academics to working in these fields. There are a lot of educational institutions. There are other knowledge-based industries are associated here in Canada. So I guess there is an opportunity, great opportunity for young researchers, also for the academics to participate in the process. And Professor Dr. Asif Mahbub Karim also mentioned there are also other opportunities are involved, as he mentioned about nano certifications. So if someone wants to develop their skill, they can also participate, or they can also enroll for those certification or those courses. So that will be very useful. One of the courses, I think Professor Asif Karim has already mentioned about 2 months long program. I guess I will be asking him in details, so that I think the young researcher here they might be interested about that program. So uh, so here I would like to ask Professor Karim about, can you briefly discuss about the 2 months program the GARA is offering?
Thank you, Mr. Edward. Actually, these are micro credential programs. So, like for example, we have a micro credential program on research methodology. So, this research methodology micro credential program, I mean, a program can be for 6 month, 8 month duration, but why we have made it into a micro credential and we are saying it's a nano certification, because what we are trying to do, we are trying to develop the youth researcher through our international subject experts who are in different countries. So in that way, what happens? It's a real-time session. It's not a conventional online whereby you can get any materials. Like in Google, if you search, you will get thousands and millions of materials on research. But what it makes difference in Gara? In Gara, all the sessions are done live. So all the sessions are on Zoom platform, for example. So there are face-to-face interactions, and the youth researcher learn from the panel of the international subject experts of research methodology that we have. Same concept, I mean, applies to our cybersecurity nano certification. It applies to our forensic accounting nano certification and the others I mentioned on the Islamic banking and finances. Uh, all are kept on mind that if we are going towards the gig economy in the future, so people are not really interested in having conventional degrees. Neither the employers. Employer wants someone who has the technical know-how. Employer wants someone who really knows the job in hand. So keeping that in view of the gig economy, so nano certification, micro credential program are the need of the hour that is being required. So having said that, our GARA's nano certification program are offered live classes It's a real-time session. It's a live class, and is offered by international subject experts. So sitting at the comfort of your home, you can still enjoy a good live class, but the most important is you are able to see the what you say resource persons around the globe who are really the expert on that particular topic. So you learn from the best, but you are learning at the comfort zone of your home or at your office if you are there. And since it's a 2 month program, so it's basically 8 weeks program. So each week there are 3 hours of sessions of live program. So in 8 weeks, they actually come up with 24 hours of learning. So that's basically the thing on the nano certification. Over to you, Mr. Edward.
I would like to ask Professor you, if I
Yes,
spell
I've
correctly.
seen
Yeah, so
Professor
if you can
Ou Hawk
introduce
is here.
yourself because
Yes,
I like to hear from you. Professor you.
yes.
Professor you, can you hear me?
Prof. U, can you hear us?
Okay. Anyway, I have another questions for Professor Karim. Um, the next question is, we know that we have been talking to mostly in academia, like as you said, school, you have spoke about school, you have say young researcher, you said
Yes.
like the postgraduate students. So it's mostly the industry, I mean mostly the academia. So what about the industries? Is there any opportunities or from the industry, those are working professionals are learning or getting advantage from Gara, getting those trainings. So are we providing any industry focused training? As you already mentioned, there is a gap in between academia and industry.
Very true, Mr. Edward. Thank you for that question. Yes, as I mentioned also in my January 10th, we are having a dialogue policy with the African nations. And on the 7th of February, we are having a dialogue policy with the Asian nation. So these are targeted to the corporate world as well, from the policy makers. And also, if you have noticed that on the nano certification, we are talking about cybersecurity, business analytics, forensic accounting. So these are for the corporate world people to gain more in-depth ideas on these specific issues. And together with those who want to have a career on Islamic banking or Islamic banking and finances or the Islamic law and Sharias, for example. So those are for the corporate side. Now, on my 2021 agenda in the GARA, what we are also having, we are trying to do some partnership with the leading audit firms of the world in different location. Is the audit firms, it is the management consulting firm, so that we can become an industry and platform whereby a market research oriented things can come. Academic research is an academic research, there's a different thing. But when we come up to the market researching, when we come up with working with a global management consulting firm, like we have a Chinese management consulting firm who was our partner in our last conference. So similarly, we are now looking forward for different consulting companies in the world to come up with mutually accepted proposal so that we can really work for the entrepreneurs, not only entrepreneurs. We can work for the entrepreneurs, we can work for the technopreneurs, and we can work for as slow as the solopreneurs, as they say these days. So that's how definitely we have our plan here.
Mr. Edward and
Yes,
Dr. Asif, I think
Thank you,
I
Prof.
have unmuted myself.
Yes,
I
yes,
would
Prof.
like to speak a little while, if you don't mind.
go ahead.
Sure, Prof.
Yes, Mr. Edward, thank you very much for putting me on. And Dr. Asif, I've been following what you have said. In fact, I am working very closely with Dr. Asif and Gara to have at least a couple of the courses you mentioned to be certified by one or two of the local public universities. And that would give added value to the short courses. Now, on the issue of whether what Gara will be offering would be industry relevant, Dr. Archif has mentioned many in the field of finance, banking, whatever. But if you look seriously at the subject of research per se, the skills and competencies that we help to develop will eventually be applied in a very abbreviated, shortest possible, even for marketing, sales, and whatever. And then with us, we have younger PhD and DBA graduates in Malaysia who are under my supervision, who are working in industries such as wellness, healthcare, and a couple of them, after years of working, are actually interested in promoting some kind of end product or service or special expertise advice. And also, we have those who, at about 45 years of industry
Yeah.
experience, suddenly found themselves out of job and they would like to share their expertise. This is what I have to add to what Dr. Asif has to say. And through your good office and connect network, Mr. Edward, we hope then to also establish a link whereby we can help promote entrepreneurs and their creative products that are either slowly making its way into the market or would like to make a market penetration through your network. Thank you very much. Mr. Edward?
Thank you very much, Prof, for
Yes.
the insight information. Yes. Over to you, Mr. Edward. I think maybe he's having network issues. I don't know.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yes.
But did you hear me?
Yes, yes, I did. I could hear you very clearly.
Yeah. And
Yes.
maybe we should
And
also mention, if possible,
yes,
the publication.
yes, I've already mentioned that, Prof, the publication part before you joined in. And this program is currently also on live on the social media through his network. And
Ah.
yes, so it's really a good thing if you're trying to promote the Gara.
And
Because,
this particular publication can
yes,
actually not just be academic, but actually as a industry-based journal, you know?
yes, very true.
No.
It can be an industry-based journal as well. Yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So you chat more with Mr. Edward and then
Yes,
see how we can work further together on this matter.
sure, sure, Prof.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. Are you here, Mr. Edward, at the moment? Are
Oh,
you able
can
to
you hear
listen
me?
to me?
Sorry,
Yeah,
I muted myself.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I hope.
Professor Asraf, is there anyone that like can you introduce yourself or just share some thoughts with us?
Oh, he's my youngest son, actually.
Oh, sorry. I thought maybe somebody is okay. Oh,
No, it's
I
okay.
thought maybe that's
Because
all
he's
right.
very much actively
Oh, okay.
working with me on my Gara
Sorry.
platform, so that's why
Oh,
he
okay,
said.
okay, okay. Anyway, so what's the primary purpose of this discussion today is actually from Gara, Canada, because I was very passionate about and inspired. Primarily, they inspired about Gara Global, what Gara Global is doing. That's what I'm very passionate about. What we can do for Gara Canada, and as I already shared with you, is Gara Canada is relatively new chapter here. So we like to work with young researcher and also the academics, and also working with the consultant, as I've been practicing for last couple of years as a management consultant, working with the industry, working with the government agencies. So we will be actually working and building bridges among the academia and industry. And I'm very passionate about working here, building a very strong network so that our purpose, of reaching and actually building the skills of young researcher and also the consultants, so that they can, right, get a competitive advantage, and then into their field. If they're in the academics, or if they're in industry, they should get a competitive advantage through different type of training and networking. So what Gara is offering, and we're very happy that Gara Global is working and getting new chapters are, is like we've been uh, associated with Gara Global. So it is very encouraging for us to at least know. And then we also, as Gara Global is also offering an international e-conference coming in December. So we are very excited to at least know more, and also building this network. So thank you very much for explaining, right, what Gara Global is doing. And I'm also very happy Dr. Mo and Dr. Yu also um, shared their valuable opinion. And we would like to work. There is a specific questions that how we can work and building the good strategic partnership. So strategic partnership not by name but also work. As Gara Canada, as I already shared with you, is we have been very much connected with um, uh, different industries, and also with the government agencies, and also with the academics. So we would like to, building this bridge, this one, and then we globally we like to build this strategic partnership, and so that we can offer like courses, or we can offer this training or consultancy, so that we can be benefited. It will be a win-win situations. So we are very excited for that, and we're looking forward that each chapter of Gara can work together and get best out of it. And this is an
Mr.
opportunity. Yes, Dr. Yu.
Mr. Edward, one of the biggest platform and one of the largest community is the school and teachers platform. So I will help you, Gara, to conceive of an area in the area of schooling and teaching. Then we can reach a lot of primary or and secondary school teachers to come together. And then we will put some of these things into a bigger plate, and then we slice it. But the target group in this case will be the schooling community and the teacher. I will work together with Dr. Ashif and you, and we will come out with that, apart from that entrepreneurship program, which I am very, very keen on. Thank you very much.
Great. Yes, this is very. I think I just like to share with you. I can't hold myself. All right. There is one teacher who was a researcher in my school, and he
Wow.
inspired me. And actually, he inspired me to read more, learn more. Even though I don't consider myself as a researcher, but I learned a lot of things. I taught in when I was in Bangladesh. I taught research methodology courses for a number of universities, but the basic foundation or the inspiration I got it from that school teacher when I was in
Yeah.
school. So it is very important that school teacher or principal, the school administration can play a major role inspiring students to and shaping, because nowadays it is very competitive. As I know, the like pandemic, because of pandemic, you have to be very competitive, and we have to take advantages of everything, right? With this time, like we should not, when we have a system loss, we should use our time properly and get best out of it. So I'm very passionate about with, and thank you, Dr. Yu, for sharing your thoughts about the starting the work with the school. And also very happy Professor Dr. Asif Karim working in India very with the ministry and things, and with a lot of educational institutions like schools are associated with that program. So we are very happy, and we also working in Bangladesh too, where some of the institutions are associated with that. So I guess we need to work together and I'm very keen about working with this partnership. Um, thank you very much. So now, Professor Asif Karim, we have 5 more minutes, then we'll wrap up. So I would like to ask Professor Dr. Asif Mahbub Karim, do you have anything like for our audience to share before we think like for our what's the Gara global future? What's they are actually looking forwards? Like you already mentioned a couple of like programs that you are offering. So I know there are programs coming in December. Is there anything you'd like to share with us?
Thank you, Mr. Edward. Yes, our next international conference, which is coming up uh, within less than a month time in hand. So it's on December 12th and 13th. And of course, that platform is again a big opportunity, I would say, because this time also we have received a good response from researchers around the globe, from different institutions, both in the public and the private sector. So that gives us a lot of inspiration and hope as well. And of course, as we see that we are still going through very hard time of the pandemic, and we really do not know when it's the end of it. But this way of conducting the sessions, this web-based technology platform, I'm sure is here to stay. So even though another year time, or the 2 years of time activities, this would be an accepted, so it's no more going to be a new norm. It is going to be an accepted norm beside conventional norm, as and when things are opening. So it is definitely a big challenge for a lot of people around the globe, where the access to internet, access to data for the internet is a question. But definitely with every challenges, I see myself having opportunities, because at the end of the day, if the global community can be served with all the global experts that Gara is having. So as you mentioned, as Prof. Dr. You have mentioned very rightly, being the Malaysian chapter president, he mentioned very rightly that the schooling is a very big community. And at the beginning of the program, I also mentioned that, yesterday night also we had a very lengthy discussion with our Gara Sri Lanka chapters, where the principal from Holy Cross School and College was present, and a few other education ministry people were also present in that program of Gara Sri Lanka. And we are also highlighting the issue of embedding the research culture within the school teachers, and especially during the pandemic time, so that the things moves much better. And they highly appreciated this role, and they indeed wanted to offer their own expertise, because the Ministry of Education IT expert, the main person to the government, he was also involved with us yesterday in the program, and he also is having a lot of challenges to ensure that the proper assessment are done in the online, but they also not sure how long it is going to continue. So with that note, and I'm sure with all the support globally that Gara is having, and with all the network that has been created and going to be created, so we move on surely, but doesn't matter, we move on slowly, but we want to move on a bit better than what we did yesterday. So that's how we are looking forward to move forward. And I thank you very much once again, Gara Canada Chapter President, Mr. Edward, Prerona TV, who is our media partner, as a strategic partner for all the events that Gara is going to do. And I'm really thankful here to Prof. Dr. OU Hogg. It's a Sunday. Still, Prof. OU has shown his commitment and love towards Gara, and not forgetting to mention Prof. Dr. Mui Wakian as well, who has really been such a catalyst to Gara Malaysian chapter, and is really that together we are proceeding in the right direction, hopefully. Over to you. Thank you. We cannot hear you, Mr. Edward. I think you are
Okay, I would
muted.
like to ask Professor Yu and then Professor Mu about sharing with us their concluding remarks.
Okay, Mr. Edward, to tease you and get you excited as part of Gara Canada, we will have a competition, all right, for all school teachers and school children. And that is how this catalyst will work during the first quarter of next year. And Dr. Ashe will then feed you with the details, and the three of us will make sure that we nurture this competitive competition between the students, teachers, and I'll give you the team. And at the end, we will find sponsors to reward them too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr.
Yeah, Mr. Edwards. One of the things that we Malaysia can work together with Canada, that we share experience. Okay, because we are both are in the Commonwealth countries and we have a huge experience whereby our unique experience and we can share with Canada, and this is very good, especially the students. Okay, we can share. Let's say any Canadian student want to know something about Malaysia, the history, the culture, any things or the values of, we can share in the GARA, and this is where the GARA will play a very vital position, okay, to help, to assist, and to share the knowledge, and for the development of Commonwealth countries. This is my opinion, Mr. Edward.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. From Prerona Television Canada, we are very excited that we are having a strategic partnership with GARA, and also from GARA Canada chapter, because we're actually hosted today's session. From GARA Canada chapters, I would like to express my gratitude to GARA Global and also GARA Malaysia, and especially individually, I'd like to thank Professor Dr. Asif Mahbub Karim, Dr. Yu, and Dr. Mui. Thank you very much for your hosting, and I'm very inspired by Dr. Yu that we are in competition. We will be working hard, and then we'll have to show this thing. And I'm very inspired with that, and we'll do that. And I hope that in first quarter of next year, we'll have something, soon. So thank you very much.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Inshallah, yes, Prof.
Thank you, Mr. Edward. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.
Take care with
Yes.
that. Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye bye.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you, Prof. Thank you,
Bye.
Mr. Edward.
Bye.